Derek, you've been telling us for ages that the away form's not important and your performances have been a lot better than results suggest, and then you go and get an away victory. How satisfying was that at the weekend?
Yeah, we played very well on the day, and we have done away from home, except for one performance this season. And the way we passed the ball, the way we created so many openings on Saturday was very good. And I think that the confidence the players took from that. Melvin scores a great goal from a pass from Donald Love, and blocks him, gets another assist for Jordan Slew. So over the 90 minutes, we were happy and delighted to get the 3 points.
How satisfying is it when you're telling the players and you're telling us in the media, and then you get a tangible result that kind of proves it?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously watch the players train every day, and I see what they're like in training, and then I watch the games, and I probably watch it in a different way to some people. That's natural, because I'm only watching my team play and what the movements is like, what the chances they create are like, and defensively as well. We've been strong. So going forward, the players have done really well to put themselves in a good position.
I was really interested before the game at the weekend when you were asked about those experienced characters and kind of high-profile characters that other clubs have got. And I know you've talked a lot about your young players, particularly those forward players. I just wonder about the experience you've got in your squad, because some of the guys you've brought in, 3 or 4 spring to mind, might not have that sort of Hollywood profile, but have got lots and lots of experience. Have you managed to get a good blend in there?
Yeah, I think it's important you do get that blend, and we've got younger players that have come on loan or on a permanent basis that need guidance, and we've got a number of senior players that do that, and I think that having that right blend in the squad is important, and they lead the younger ones forward, and it's up to my job, the coaching staff job as well, to be really focused on them and look after them on a daily basis. And that's why so many Premier League clubs, Championship clubs put their players here, because they know that they're coached, they're taught, they're brought up in the right way. And to have a technical director at Brighton, to have his son here, tells you loads, because David Weir played so many times for Everton and Rangers in Scotland, and to get that trust, you look at Mickey Mellon, his father, it tells you something, that how we look after their players. When a manager gives you his boy to look after, then I take that as a huge positive, and I think that we, as footballing people, know how to treat players properly.
Do you think that young men who have been steeped in that football culture because parents have been involved in the game or whatever it may be, do they take to it better?
Definitely. I've had this conversation many years ago. An old manager at Aberdeen would always say, if it was a choice between two, a player that both equals, you would take the player that his father used to play the game, and it's in the genes. They know how to get up in the morning, how to go and train, how to recover, and then they know the disappointments and the success along the way. They know how to deal with it all. Players from families that haven't had professional athletes or sportsmen don't know how to react in that kind of way. So it's far better and far easier if that's the case.
When you're coming into a game against one of your club's traditional rivals, I think maybe only 3 or 4 that were involved in the last meeting can be involved in this one. Is it part of the preparation to transmit the significance of that rivalry when you've got new players and younger players?
I try not to, from the reason that they'll understand that when the teams go out, the atmosphere on the night, it's a football match that you have to be up for, because Accrington Stanley play in a certain type of way with energy and enthusiasm to go and play, to go and create chances to go forward, and we all understand that. We've got to then be sure when we regain the ball is to pick up the next pass, because we quite quickly can get on the end of them, because the space is going to be open, and we understand that's the way Accrington play, and they have had great success doing it.
Is it therefore more important to have that kind of cool head, that composure, that clarity of thought when there is that atmosphere, and you might go the other way and you might get a bit too keyed up.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got younger players, and this is no disrespect to them or anything. They don't know from game to game what they're going into because they've never had that experience before. That can be a good thing and a bad thing because the good thing is that they don't know what the game's about. The bad thing is that it's a local derby and they have to know what the game's about. And, we will give them pointers before the match and re-establish what the fixture means.
Are there similarities? Can you draw parallels between Accrington and Morecambe? Maybe not necessarily the way you play, but in the kind of clubs and the stature and stuff?
Yeah, I think that, both clubs have come through in a similar path and have found themselves in League One and then found themselves in League Two. So both have similar paths over the years and, good experience with John being the manager there for so many years, backroom staff, and they're the same as us season on season. They have to change the squad about.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that a parallel that you can draw? The fact that not only are there big changes to personnel, but you're probably not the first choice, let's say, when players become available financially. Yeah,
of course, and I think that when you're in that situation, both clubs have got to recruit in a certain way, and I know I get loads of players thrown at me, but it's not always possible to go and sign them. So then I've got to pick out the ones that A are affordable and B are right for this football club, and Accrington are exactly the same.
You've talked about the atmosphere for these kind of games. How important will that be, and how important will your supporters be in a rammed full Mazuma?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's always great. We've had really good support this season, and the atmosphere tomorrow night will be brilliant, and both sets of supporters pushing the players on. So I think it will be an entertaining game.
And it's a cliche, the old 12-man thing. But can it make a palpable difference?
Yeah, there's definitely that. There's no doubt about it that your own supporters can help your team, influence the game. How quickly you press, how quickly you attack the opposition. It's a big factor in football.
And on Accrington, Morecambe, Accrington connections, you've obviously got Jeb Brandon with you now. Can he provide some insight into how they work, or are they enough of an open book over many years that you kind of know what to expect?
I think that he can provide an insight. I think that he can, and he's already spoken to me to certain things, but I'm sure that Accrington will change them up before tomorrow night. It's only natural that you would do that.
Just generally, since Jed's come in, what has he brought to the table? Obviously somebody you already know, but actually practically on the training pitch and in the dugout.
Yeah, well, what we've done is, John McMahon, assistant manager, myself manager, it's taken a bit of workload off of me especially, and Jed has come in. He's very enthusiastic. He's helped the players on an individual basis by going through their clips with them and showing what he thinks they've done well and what they haven't done well. So that's been hugely beneficial. Another voice from John and I as well helps the environment, and it just helps having that extra set of eyes, ears, feet, hands going forward.
Does it help you concentrate on your master plan to get to the championship that you told us about the weekend?
Yeah, that's already there, and it's something that in future years we're going to try and get there, and once everything's clarified, then hopefully we can do that.
And I understand why people would smile when you say that, but if you weren't ambitious and didn't have those aspirations, would you be in the wrong job?
Yeah, you only have to look at the number of teams that have been able to get there, and Wycombe Wanderers finished nearly out of the Football League, were able to get to the Championship. Burton Albion were able to get to the Championship. Nobody thought we would get out of League Two ever, and we got to League One. So Ross County went from League Two to the Premier League. We've played in a Scottish Cup final where they never thought they would get out of Highland League. So nobody's going to tell me that it's not possible. Everything is possible. It just needs to have the right people in place to take it forward.
And clearly things have got a little quieter on the off-the-pitch front, which I'm sure you welcome. Does that have to be sorted conclusively for these big strides to be taken?
Yes, yeah, there's no doubt about that. And, the owner, the board of directors know that, and we're striving every day now to try and get a solution to it, to move the football club on, because we don't want to be stagnant and continue as we are. It's a nice football club, but we want to be, continue and move forward and be a successful football club.
And just finally on tomorrow's game, what's the personnel situation? Anything hanging over from the weekend?
We've got a fully fit squad, except for Donald Love, who's suspended because he's had 5 bookings.
Get money for your old phone, MazumaMobile.com.